Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, आज कौन सा topic cover होना है?
Sorry.
Which topic are we going to like study today?
So we are going to start with transformers today,
Okay,
and
ma'am. Okay, okay.
yeah, and question answering bot. I think only one topic is left from module 4, which is question answering. So once this transformers is clear, we'll continue with the question answering.
Okay, ma'am. But वो तो quiz में भी आएगा ना फिर Transformers.
मैंने डाले नहीं है क्विज में ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स के क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज आई गेस पीपल ये अभी क्वेश्चन
अच्छा.
आंसरिंग बचा है इसमें और ये 3 टॉपिक्स बचे हैं. वील डू ट्रांसफॉर्मर सेल्फ अटेंशन टुडे. तो आफ्टर दिस इज क्लियर तो क्वेश्चन आंसरिंग समझ आएगा, तो वो इसके कंटिन्यूएशन में है टॉपिक.
Okay.
ठीक है. क्विज में मैंने डाला नहीं है आज का, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो.
मैं तो मैम रीड अप कर लिया, मेरे को लगा आपने डाला होगा, so but okay, कोई नहीं. Also fine.
ओके, कोई नहीं, नेक्स्ट क्विज में तो डालना ही है, तो एडवांस में प्रिपरेशन होगी आपकी.
Okay.
चलो, so we'll start with transformers. So in transformers, first of all, just a quick recap about attention. So in attention, what do we do is we have a sequence of input, we have a sequence of output, and attention models basically gives us flexibility, like we are able to give attention to particular words, which can tell the output, like which words are important for predicting the present word or the current word in the output. So for predicting each and every word, we give attention to several words from the input instead of all the whole sequence as whole sequence input. Okay, so this is advantage, while in RNN, GRU and another sequential model, disadvantage was because each and every cell state is stored, and as we have a longer sequence, as we move on along the sequence, so that cell state or that memory is reduced, so the impact of those words remembering the context is reduced, while in attention we have context of such words where we want to give attention to. So that was the advantage. Now transformers make use of the attention. Okay, so transformers are based on attention and they don't require any sequential computation, just like other sequential models, maybe sequence to sequence or maybe RNN, GRU, etc. So only one single input is required, and also there's no back propagation kind of thing where we don't have multiple time steps. We have only one time step, that is we are just giving whole data as input, whole sentence as input, and we just get only one output. So there's no back propagation across t time steps. That is the case with the RNN, GRU and LSTMs, while in a transformer that is not the case. Okay, so transformer, that is why don't suffer from vanishing gradients, because we are not moving along the sequence at every time step. We are just passing the whole sequence at one time step itself. So that is why transformers are way better than those sequential models. So just an example of encoder decoder architecture where attention layer is implied. So we are giving whole sequence input and we have attention layer, and then we are producing the output. So this is the part of attention that we have discussed in the previous class, just introduction about attention. So basically we, for predicting the output, we take inputs, information from the inputs, like which word we want to give attention to for predicting the first word as output. Similarly, thing goes for second and so on. So this is just a simple attention network. And we have discussed this, like key values are the part of encoder and query is a part of decoder. And whenever decoder, so whenever we want to predict first word, we'll query like which word is important, so we will multiply these key and value and it will give us some attention weights, and that we will multiply with the query and we will get some some weighted value, and we'll say, okay, so the value that is having higher weight, we will consider that key value pair, and that key value pair may be corresponding to a particular word, and we say, okay, this word is important in predicting the output word. So this is we have discussed in last class also. This is simple example of attention. Okay, so let's skip this part. Then we will talk about multi-head attention. Now, before discussing this multi-head attention is nothing. We are just talking about multiple heads. That means we are just talking about multiple sentences. Okay, let's see. So this is self-attention. So first of all, why self-attention is required, and what is the role of this self-attention? So suppose I have a sentence like maybe okay, so she was standing maybe near the table. So if I'm talking about a person, so what she was doing, first she was standing. Where she was standing? So near the table. And if the sentence was very long, so we will again ask another question, and we will say this word was important. So what, where, why, when, so many other things are there. So these words are important. So multiple heads are there. For example, for identifying, if I want to translate this to Hindi, or maybe some other language, so I'll get some sequence of characters, maybe A, B, C, D. So this is four sequence. I'm translating this whole into suppose this was the translated sentence. So in predicting the first word, and suppose this was the translation for she. So for predicting this, I require information so these depends upon what I am focusing upon. So if I'm talking about a girl, so in that case, so what she was doing, where she was standing, and so many other things are there. So I should give more attention to such words like standing, table. So I'm talking about a girl, so what she was doing. Okay, so whenever I'm so it will be having key value vector, it will be having key value, it will be having a key value, it will be having key value, and so on. So each and every word is having a key value pair, and we have a query. So query vector at the decoder side. So we will multiply these key value to query. We will keep on multiplying this with all the key value pairs. Okay, so we will multiply this query with this key value, and with all the key values, and we will calculate some attention weights. Okay, and we will concatenate all those weights. So this was suppose weight vector 1, weight vector 2, weight vector 3, and so on. We'll get multiple weights, and we will concatenate all those weights, and we will finally get some weight vector, suppose V, suppose W, capital W, and this weight vector will decide like which word were important to me for predicting this first ABCD. Okay, so I require information from multiple places. So first of all, in a sentence, so if I talk about self-attention, so she was standing, if the sentence was she was standing near the bank, near the river bank, let's say. So for predicting this bank, I require context from river also. So this was important. And okay, so this so multiple, so self attention is nothing. We are just taking input from the input sentence itself, and we are giving weights to the input sentence itself for predicting the word, for translating this word. Because I require how do I know this bank I'm talking about is not the financial institution, it is a river bank. So that information I'll get from the sentence itself. So self attention is nothing, it's just we want to look at the input sentence itself for our whatever application we are task at hand. Okay, the task that we are having. Okay, so we require input, so that is self attention. First thing. Second thing, we require multiple heads. We require multiple heads because we require information from multiple words. So that is called multi-head attention. So self-attention is there, multi-head attention is there. Self-attention means we are looking at the input sentence itself, and multi-head means we are looking at multiple words at a time. So now when we are looking at multiple words at a time, we will get multiple key values for a single. So these key values, this is generated for only this query vector. So for each query, so if you have one query, so you will get multiple key value pair up to KH and VH. So this is head, multiple heads. Similarly, for second word, if I generate another query, so I will again get K1, V1. So this K1 is different from this K1, V1. So I had K2, V2, and so on, KH, VH. So this KH, VH is different from this KH, VH. So this is related to second query. This is related to first query. So this is called multi-head because I am taking values from multiple key value pairs, so that this is called multi-head. Okay, so this is what we are talking about here. So we have key value vectors associated with each and every word that we give as input, and self-attention is nothing. We are just looking at the input word itself. Now, so I have answered this question. Why? Because self-attention allows to look at other positions in the input sequence to help get a better encoding. Okay, so then we have multi-head attention. So this is also, I hope this is clear, like multi-head is, we are looking at multiple words at the for describing for generating only one word. We are looking at multiple heads simultaneously, basically parallelly. So instead of sequential approach, this is a parallel approach for looking at all the words. That is why this attention networks are better. Why? Because instead of looking at each and every, storing all the memory cells sequentially, we just parallelly look at all the words in generating this first word. So this is parallel processing rather than sequential processing. So this is, I hope this is clear. So this is example. Yeah.
So, ma'am, can you explain multi-headed again? Like, how is it? What's the? Yeah, can you explain it again, please?
Yeah. So you are asking multi-head?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So multi-head means like you are having. Okay. So this is multi-head here. So for each and every word vector, so first word that I want to translate as output. So this was my, okay, suppose A, B, C, D was my input sequence and output was F, G, H. So predicting or translating this F, I will calculate, I will require weight from this one, from this one, from this one, and from this one. Okay, so multiple heads. So that is why. I will multiply key values.
But these are different layers, right? Like when you like in the first layer, you basically pass the word embeddings, and then it sort of gets the value vector from the after the linear layer, and then you pass that value vector further to the next. Like, ma'am, it has 6 of these stacked on top of each other, right? Like I think the paper that you showed, attention is all you need. It said that they chose a value of 6. So does multi-head mean that it's focusing like uh, it's focusing on other words in the context of the current word, or does it actually mean that there are like 6 of these stacked on top of each other, and that's why it's like going through multiple things parallelly?
So exactly. So these are the, if I'm talking about K1, V1, K2, K2, V2, KH, VH. So these are all stacked linear layers itself. So this is one linear layer, this is another linear layer. Why this is stacked? Because all of these, okay, so this is this is only one thing. So this is one, I'm talking about only one part. So which is, so these are all multiple layers stacked over one another. And these are all layers. So how these key values are getting created? So this is by learning the weights. Okay, so these key values are, uh, we are just learning using linear layer. Okay, so these are all stacked over one another. I have just written it one by one. So these are all stacked over one another. So
Yes.
for this also you will get stacked layer, four stacked layer. Then for this also you will get four stacked layers like this.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Got it.
So you will say like four layers for first output word, then for second you will get four layers, then for third you will get. So this is actually the disadvantage of attention. Like you get so many values, you get so many vectors, matrices basically, because each and every key value is also a vector query you multiply. So much matrix multiplication is going on. But the advantage is you don't back propagate through everything. Okay, you just you only once you do this one, and once you do this one, you forward propagate and you backward propagate. So everything is going on in parallelly. While in RNNs you traverse from left to right. So this is you traverse from left to right, you store all the memory cells and so on. So it's like this.
Yes.
Okay. So this is example they have shown. Multi-head means this is attention mechanism 1, 2, 3. So three layers will be stacked over one another. So this is like this. So they have shown it keys. So 1, 2, 3. So three attention. We are talking about three attention mechanisms because for describing this gave. So I need attention for three words. That is who gave, and what does he give, and okay, so attention to several words is required, and these three mechanism, these three basically heads are there, and these three will be so it would be 1, 2 and 3, so linear. Then 1, 2 and 3 for query values, and keys, query and value. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, three heads are there in describing the give, so this word. Okay, so then these three are matrices multiplied, keys and queries are multiplied, then normalize, basically softmax. Okay, and then after normalizing, you again multiply with the value vector. Then after multiplication, you concatenate and apply a dense layer. So you concatenate all the values, you get only one matrix, and then you apply a dense layer. So this is final whole attention mechanism. Okay, so then positional accounting. So one disadvantage of this whole was, so because what you are doing in this over here is you are just parallelly processing everything. So for deciding the word F, you are only looking at A, B, C, D. Okay, so you don't know. So if I write B, A, C, D, so I don't know. So if I am writing this is a cat, and if I write cat, this is, so all three will generate same vectors, same value on key vectors, right? So in deciding, but sentence is wrong because I have shuffled few words. Okay, so that is why positional encoding is important. So what positional encoding does is it retains the positional information of the input sequence. So positional encoding outputs values to be added to the embeddings. That's where every input. Okay, so what happens is we want to restore the order of the words, because attention is attention mechanism that up till now we have seen is parallelly processing everything. So it is not taking into account the order of the or the sequence of the words, but that information is lost. Okay, so that is why we require positional encoding. So we add positional encoding like where this vector is stored. So we also learn this layer. Okay, in addition to what we have up till now, so for retaining the sequence information or the ordering of the words. So there are so this is what a transformer is. So transformer utilizes up till now whatever we have seen. So it is having multi-head attention, self-attention, position encoding, and all of these combined makes a transformer. Okay, we'll see. And then so it is used, it is very widely used tech, and it is used in so many applications like text summarization, autocomplete, chatbots, translation. We have seen in translation, and we will see question answering, and we will see how it's going to work in question answering. Okay, then so many other applications. So transformer is a very popular and very we can say very good model in terms of its application. It is able to it has very limited limitations, you can say. So it's a good. So can you suggest few transformers that you know, transformer models?
I'm literally like everything after like BERT, GPT-3, GPT-2, ExcelNet, and all that.
True. So everything utilizes transformer, GPT, then BERT, T5. T5 is multitask transformer. So in T5, it is very flexible model in terms of you can tell like I want question answering, I want text summarization, and I want so many things from a particular sentence. So a transformer, so T5 will give you output accordingly. If you want this, so it will give you translated output. If you want prediction, it will give you predicted output. So it is a multitask transformer. So these are state of the art models, transformer models. So up till now, what we have seen is we have seen self-attention, multi-head, positional, and these four are required when we talk about transformers. Okay, so this is again, so that thing is represented in a, so this is final diagram of a transformer. This is given in the research paper of the transformer. So where here you have input embedding, output embedding, that's okay. Then you have a multi-head attention. You will do normalization and concatenation of all the layers, addition and normalization, that part is there. Then you will do a feed forward layer. Okay, similarly similar thing goes in the output. So this is the decoder part. Okay, and finally you have a linear and a softmax layer as always. So this is your encoder and this is your decoder. So that's it. So this is all about transformers. And if you want me to explain like details about the back propagation and mathematically, so we can also do that if we have a time remaining. So we can also study in depth. We can, you know, go in depth about the. So anything, so up till now, I have given you basic idea of transformers, how transformers work. Okay. Let me know, do let me know, like if you want to get into details of this, we'll study more about what is scale dot product attention, what is I mean, how the back propagation works, and basically mathematics behind this. So we'll do that for sure. So that's all. Any questions, anything?